Hey Nate, how's it going?
Good.
Hey Biagio, I'm here with Nate. So we're on our crazy mission to write a screenplay on an iPad, because why not? The fact of the matter is there's no native iPad software yet that lets you write a screenplay.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of the full resolution of the iPad. There are some iPhone apps, right, Nate?
There are some iPhone apps, but they don't run very well on the iPad.
Nate hooked up his iPad here to a Bluetooth keyboard. This will work without the Bluetooth keyboard, and we'll show you that in a minute. So we kind of came up with an idea last night. We're like, what if we write a screenplay template for Pages and see if we could transfer that template into the iPad? Now, I will say the template works much better in the desktop version of Pages.
But there are some pretty cool functions of just defaulting what's the next line.
Especially when you're writing slug lines in action or when you're writing conversations. So Nate, why don't you go ahead and start a new scene from a slug line?
Alright, so I can start out. Let's start at the bottom then.
And this is where things get a little annoying, because when you're going to pick a heading for the first time, you got to go up here and choose it from the elements list. There's some styles that are automatically imported that you can pick from your drop-down list. AC for action, CH for character, DI for dialogue, PA for parenthetical, SL for slug line, TR for transition. That said, don't worry, you don't have to pick a style every single time you're typing. Nate, let's show them some of the automatic features. So how would you start here? So you're going to have to go in here and choose SL for slug line. Your slug line is automatically formatted. Now, when you hit return after a slug line, you'll be taken to an action block. So that helps a little bit. So now you hit return, now you're in your action block. So you don't have to go and choose any settings from the drop-down menu. You can just go ahead and start typing Biagio works Nate like a slave, or whatever he wants to type in here. I'm not sure how good you can see this on my flip, but you get the basic idea. The trouble comes in when you want to get into some dialogue. This is where, unfortunately, we know it's annoying, but you're going to have to go tap. So go ahead and tap, and go ahead and choose CH for character formatting. Now, when you type a character name and hit return, it'll take you to a dialogue block. So now you're typing your dialogue. So go ahead, give us a couple of good lines of dialogue there. What are you typing, Nate? Let's see. Where's 201 Digibeta? That's such a Nate thing to type. Now here's the great thing. When you hit return out of a dialogue block, it automatically goes to another character block. So running conversation back and forth is really easy. You're just basically hitting return, go to character block, hitting return, going to dialogue block. Now you might have a question, how do you do a parenthetical? Nate, can you do a parenthetical?
Yes, you can. If you do a character, if you go, you're writing dialogue, you're in the character tab, you just, write whatever. And then you press return, you're in the dialogue. But if you change that in the headings to PA for parenthetical, you're automatically inserted into the right spacing for
parentheticals. You got to add your own parentheses. You can use this just on the tablet. It's just a little bit more of a pain, and we'll show you why. The problem is, to get your drop-down styles in Pages on the iPad, you have to be in portrait mode. You can't be in landscape mode, which is kind of lame. I think I get why they did it, is for spacing reasons, but so you can't get to your styles. Now, of course, if you get into a pretty long dialogue block, it's not so bad. Now you're just going back and forth, like we showed before, character, dialogue, return out, back to character, return out, back to dialogue, etc., etc. And then when you get back to where you need to write in some action, well, you're going to have to flip your iPad sideways. At least it's small enough to flip, and you can maybe develop some ninja-like iPad flipping skills. Nate's already kind of zipping through it. It seems like more work than you want to have to do, but we're on the bleeding edge here. We're trying to figure out how to write a screenplay on the iPad. So for right now, we're having fun. And I do think that this could turn into a viable option, especially if we can get hotkeys somehow into Pages and an update or something like that.
Yep.
So Apple, if you're listening, give us some hotkeys in Pages. All right. Thanks, Nate.